Voters in Georgia have less than an hour left to cast their ballots in two key Republican runoff races. Trump-backed Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones and billionaire Rick Jackson are vying for the GOP nomination for governor. The winner will face Democrat and former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Bottoms in November. And it's a battle of the endorsements in the Republican runoff for Senate in Georgia. Trump-backed Congressman Mike Collins is facing former college football coach Derek Dooley, who's endorsed by Governor Brian Kemp. The winner will go up against Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff. CBS News correspondent Skyler Henry joins us from Atlanta. So, Skyler, like a lot of Americans now, affordability seems to be the #1 issue for Georgia voters. What are the candidates saying about how they're going to tackle that issue if elected?
Yeah, let's talk about what the gubernatorial candidates have had to say about affordability in recent weeks. Certainly what they've been stumping on. We know that Rick Jackson, for one, has stumped on the moving forward with the possibility of cutting eventually the state income tax. We should point out that a lot of these candidates actually have very similar plans, which can be a little difficult for voters. But as I was saying, Jackson wants to cut that state income tax. He also wants to put a freeze on property taxes. Meanwhile, his competition, the Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, who has had the endorsement of both the current Governor Brian Kemp and President Trump, says that he wants to cap the annual assessment growth there. Also looking to cut the state income tax as well. Both of those things could certainly bode well for voters who are looking at what's happening at the pump, looking at what's happening at the grocery store as well, wondering where their money is going. And so I think that that will be something interesting to pay attention to, whether that has any sort of impact in terms of who they will eventually be voting for. And I think, too, Lindsay, that this could very well be a big display in terms of Republican proxy war, if you will, in terms of who voters decide to actually lean to, whether that is someone who is endorsed by President Trump, obviously moving forward with the MAGA agenda, whether they're paying attention to things that are happening abroad with the war in Iran, or whether they're paying attention to those domestic issues, like I pointed out, and how that eventually impacts their pocketbooks and wallets, or will they align themselves with Governor Brian Kemp and the candidates that he has endorsed. Kemp, widely viewed as the most popular Republican in this state, someone that clearly the people here in the Peach State know. And so I think it'll be interesting to see whether, based off of the results here, we're able to determine if this is going to foreshadow, if you will, what the state GOP has to say and what voters here in the Peach State have to say as well.
All right, Skyler Henry, thank you.